the relationship with the public?
Well, I think the general perception I've seen amongst autistic individuals that we're seen as a proverbial other. Oftentimes we are seen as victims. We're seen as victims of our condition, much like, almost, I hate to make the comparison, but cancer. Like, we are seen with the same level of almost pity. Like, we are victims of our condition. We will never be equal to anyone else.
Welcome to the Extraordinary Being Movement, where we inspire you to take action, influence you for change, and motivate you for success. Hi, I'm your host and coach, Len DeCarmine, and we have an amazing show tonight. We're going to be talking about autism awareness and the Tism with our special guest this evening. But before we get into that, let me introduce to you my two favorite co-hosts and friends, the one and only Fred Martinez. Fred, how are you this evening?
Doing great. You know, it's another week, another way to dominate our path and have fun and success in our lives. And this topic we're going to be talking about tonight, kind of one of my best friends, his stepson has autism. So this right here will definitely resonate more so. Can't wait.
Sounds great, Fred. I'm happy that you're bringing the fire, the passion, and of course, the fuel tonight. And Christopher Shiver, what we got going on, friend?
Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm actually excited today because we're going to actually hear about autism from somebody that actually has it. I'm going to be honest, I've not seen many shows out there or many documentaries or speakers talking about it, but I've not seen many autistic speakers talk about it. So this is going to be really interesting for me because I don't see many places out there where you can actually find this sort of source of information. So I got a lot of questions.
I'm excited about this episode as well, so let's not waste any more time. Let me introduce our special guest, Eric Rozansky. He's the founder and owner of the Tism. He was diagnosed with autism at a young age and has lived with it all his life. The Tism was born by looking around at how autism was seen and portrayed and realizing that the portrayal did not actually match the reality. So he took action, started the Tism to bring awareness to everybody out there. Eric, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Len.
I appreciate it.
Great to finally have a place to talk about this.
Eric, I love it. So, Eric, I like to open up the show with an icebreaker. All right? If you had one superhero power, what would it be?
I guess it would be the ability to read people's minds. Something about autism is that it's hard to really get people. And it's taken me a long time to get to the point where I can really understand what people are thinking or what people are like, I guess what people are thinking and how people look at me and how I affect other people. So being able to read people's minds would help a lot with that, I suppose.
No, I love it. That's a fantastic power to have. Could also be very dangerous reading everybody's mind all at once. But, you know, you really get to see and hear what's going on in people's heads. And sometimes I bet it's pretty scary for the most part. But that sounds like an awesome power to have for sure. Now, I wanted to ask you a little bit more about who you are. Tell us a little bit more about who Eric is.
Well, I'm 24 years old. I am a recent graduate of ASU's Barrett Honors College with a degree in history. I plan on pursuing a master's degree in history at the same college in January. And I started the Tism this year as a sort of passion project. I started because I wanted to really change the way autism was seen and perceived, and I wanted to bring awareness and acceptance to autistic causes and autistic individuals. I have been given intense amounts of support and understanding all my life, but I understand that not many people like me get that. Mm-hmm. And I feel like the best way to change that, the best way to put people in the position where they can get the respect and dignity and positivity they deserve is to spread awareness of the causes and to help promote this more positive perspective of autism. The Tism was born, the Tism, like the phrase itself, was born of an in-joke between me and my siblings, where sometimes if one of us would mess up, we'd joke and say they had the Tism. We could only make this joke because they had grown to love me and accept me and understand me as an equal. And I hope someday that all autistic people can be able to I don't know, be in on the joke, where we can laugh with others instead of being laughed at or pitied or sympathized with.
No, I think that's great. Now, I know you brought up and you mentioned how people with autism are seen. Can you share a little bit more about that? How do they feel that they're seen and the relationship with the public?
Well, I think the general perception I've seen amongst autistic individuals that we're seen as a proverbial other. Oftentimes we are seen as victims. We're seen as victims of our condition, much like, almost, I hate to make the comparison, but cancer. Like, we are seen with the same level of almost pity. Like, we are victims of our condition. We will never be equal to anyone else. It is either that or we are seen as prodigies. Like, we're treated like we're all Rain Man, or we're all Temple Grandin, or we're all Daniel Tammet, when that is not the case. I've even been told that autistic people are the next step in human evolution. A statement which was mired in good intentions, but comes across as very othering. The Tism wants to get this message out there that we are not victims, we are not superheroes, we don't have superpowers, we are not other, we are people. We're people deserving of dignity, respect, and positivity, just like anyone else. We may have different needs, we may have different ways of looking at the world and understanding people and the world around us, but that still makes us people.
No, I absolutely love it that you shared both perspectives, and how you foresee how people are seeing you and how you really want to be seen. You just want to be seen as regular people, and not as you said, the other, the other people, and that everybody with autism functions in life in their own special way, and that people should just accept that the way it is, and just work like we would work with anybody else. Go ahead, Chris.
So, Eric, I know for a fact I've been on the other side of not understanding, and I'm pretty confident I've been one of those people that used to say autism was like the next evolutionary step. And it's funny now that you said that, it made me think to myself, like, what's funny? That you could say it's like you said, it comes with this positive intent, but it only serves to push that person further away from the group. And I'm only beginning to understand what that would feel like for somebody. I mean, what was that like for you? When did you start to realize that?
When did I start to realize I was different?
No, when people were treating you different.
I realized it before I was told I was autistic. I was told I was autistic around age 9, but even then, I always felt that people looked at me differently. They treated me differently. And that didn't change after I learned my diagnosis. In fact, It only increased. I've had to fight for every single thing I've had from a very young age. I was taught to advocate for myself. And I guess I now want to use these tools to help, not only advocate for myself, but other autistic individuals, for the autism community at large. Because I don't want someone to have to go through the same struggles I went through growing up, where everything was a fight. And I mean everything. Like, even trying to get into a Spanish class in 10th grade was it was so bad that we had to get a tutor from somewhere else to come in and teach me Spanish, because the school district refused to give me Spanish. They refused to give me chemistry because I was the other. I did not fit into the mold that they believed to be the normal kid. And this sort of thing is why I moved to Arizona. I'm originally from New York, and the Arizona school system has treated me far better and far more like a person than any place in New York. I would not have been able to graduate from a normal high school, much less a university in New York.